Let's begin by challenging one of the biggest myths about wealth creation, that it's mostly luck, connections, or extraordinary talent. The truth is simpler and far more powerful. Your subconscious programming around money may have been written long before you ever earned a paycheck. One of the most intriguing cases proving this comes from Dr. Joseph Murphy, a psychologist who spent decades studying the subconscious mind. He documented a story about an exhausted businessman who couldn't sleep. In a desperate attempt to quiet his racing mind, he began repeating two simple words every night as he drifted off. They were wealth and success. He wasn't trying to become rich, he just wanted rest. Yet within months, his financial life transformed. New business opportunities emerged. Income streams multiplied, and his entire relationship with money shifted, all because of a subconscious reprogramming that happened during the moments before sleep. Now, this isn't magic or wishful thinking. It's about how our brains work, particularly in the theta state, the same state where in us small children before our critical faculties develop. From birth to age 7, we absorb beliefs like sponges. That's when many of us unconsciously download limiting scripts about money. Money doesn't grow on trees. Rich people are greedy. We can't afford that. These phrases become unquestioned operating systems that quietly run our adult decisions.
Exactly. And that's why two people with similar intelligence, work ethic, and even resources can have dramatically different outcomes. One thrives financially while the other struggles because one is running empowering subconscious code and the other is running outdated, restricted scripts. What's remarkable is that the subconscious doesn't just store memories, it governs what opportunities we notice, what risks we take, and how we interpret financial choices. If your inner software says money is scarce or only for the lucky few, you'll unconsciously filter the world to confirm that belief. That's why some deals feel wrong even when they make sense, or why opportunities pass by unnoticed. Dr. Mackey's research discovered a key window for rewriting this code, a naive moment we all experience but rarely use. If the hypnagogic state, the twilight zone between wakefulness and sleep. In over a minute, the critical, skeptical conscious mind relaxes. It's like the nightclub bouncer stepping away for a cigarette break. Fresh ideas and new beliefs can slip in without being rejected. During this state, brainwaves slow back to theta, the same pattern that made us both suggestible as children. That's the opening wealthy people, knowingly or unknowingly, have used for centuries to install empowering beliefs. Instead of scrolling social media or replaying old worries as they fall asleep, they seed the subconscious with images and feelings of prosperity.
Let's unpack why this is effective from a psychological perspective. The subconscious doesn't process language the way the conscious mind does. It's not about spelling out affirmations logically. It's about symbols, images, and emotions. When you softly repeat a word like wealth as you drift off, you're activating all the internal associations you've built around that concept. That could include memories of abundance, creativity, security, or it could surface fears and resistance at first. But over time, the mind begins reorganizing itself around this idea that wealth is possible, normal, and present. It starts scanning for supporting evidence, much like when you decide to buy a new red car and you suddenly notice red cars everywhere. Murphy documented thousands of people using this method. Artists who discovered overlooked talents, entrepreneurs who stumbled onto new business models, everyday individuals who found themselves in conversations and environments that they would have previously ignored. The subconscious quietly adjusted their focus until opportunities that matched wealth and success became obvious. And it's not just anecdotal. Neuroscience now shows that during drowsy state, neuroplasticity increases, meaning the brain is more open to rewiring. Advertisers once tried to exploit this with subliminal messaging. It was banned because it worked too well. The same mechanism can be used intentionally and ethically for personal transformation.
The process is surprisingly straightforward, though consistency is everything. Dr. Murphy advised a 30-night commitment. Each evening, as you're drifting into sleep, you gently repeat the chosen words: wealth and success. No force, no elaborate ritual, just allow the words to flow through your mind as the conscious defensive phase. Here's what tends to happen in stages. With one, you may not feel anything dramatic, but beneath awareness, the brain begins scanning differently. You start noticing conversations, books, or content about opportunity and money that you normally ignore. It's like an algorithm refresh. Week 2, behavior shifts subtly. You choose educational material over mindless entertainment. You ask better questions in conversations. Networking starts happening naturally. Not because you're pushing, but because your interest and energy are different. And in week 3, synchronicities appear. You meet helpful people or stumble onto resources. What some call luck is really your subconscious guiding your attention towards aligned openings. And in week 4 and beyond, a deeper identity shift takes root. You begin thinking that someone capable of wealth creation. Money stops feeling scarce and instead becomes energy that flows toward value. You start spotting needs in the marketplace. You start seeing yourself as someone who can solve problems and be compensated for it. The technique doesn't replace action. It primes your inner compass so the actions you take are smarter and more aligned.
And here's the crucial point. Most people quit before the rewiring completes. They expect instant results, like a winning lottery ticket appearing on the pillow. But subconscious change works differently. It's cumulative and subtle, until one day your behavior and perception are so different that results seem to suddenly show up. Skipping nights breaks the momentum. Murphy was clear. 30 consecutive nights. Not when it's convenient. Not when motivation is high. Every night. That's what distinguishes those who transform from those who stay stuck. Another key is readiness to act on the opportunities that surface. The subconscious may highlight an idea, a person, or a chance conversation, but it won't run the business for you. Your conscious mind must step in to evaluate and execute. Think of it as upgrading your operating system. The new code allows access to features that were always there, but you still have to use them.
Let's address some common misunderstandings. First of all, this isn't about blind positivity of solving problems that exist. It's about rewriting outdated core beliefs so you can see and respond to reality more effectively. It also isn't traditional affirmation. Affirmations often fail because they clash with ingrained subconscious beliefs and get rejected. By timing this suggestion to the hypnagogic state, you bypass that resistance. The mind is receptive, not yet asleep, but not fully critical. And this is not reserved for people chasing millions. While Murphy's case studies often involve financial breakthrough, the same principle applies to other goals: career growth, creative success, or health improvements. The subconscious doesn't distinguish categories, it simply responds to repeated, emotionally charged concepts. The simplicity is what throws people off. We've been taught that transformation must be complex, full of struggle and strategy. Yet here's a method so basic that it can almost feel insulting to our overthinking minds.
Let's also talk about why early programming is so sticky. From birth to sudden, our brains lack a fully developed prefrontal cortex, which means no critical filter. If your parents constantly worried about bills, spoke negatively about wealth, or modeled struggle, these impressions become truth at a deep level. Even if you later study finance or entrepreneurship, those early imprints quietly steer choices. For example, maybe an investment opportunity makes mathematical sense, but you feel a gut level discomfort and back out. Or you undercharge clients because a childhood script says asking for more is greedy. These aren't rational decisions, they're subconscious autopilot. The nightly repetition interrupts that autopilot and begins writing new default settings. Over time, decisions align with abundance rather than fear.
I think worth emphasizing, wealth here doesn't mean reckless materialism. It's about empowerment and freedom. Money becomes a tool rather than a source of stress. When you're financially empowered, you can create, give, and live more fully. Another misconception is that subconscious work eliminates the need for skill building or strategy. It doesn't, but it changes how you approach those skills. When your inner belief is opportunity exists for me, you'll study differently, you'll network confidently, and make bolder moves.
Let's outline a practical approach for anyone who wants to start tonight. Prepare your sleep environment. Reduce screens and distractions 15 minutes before bed to let the mind quiet. Get comfortable. As you lay down and feel drowsy, begin softly repeating your chosen words. Well, success. Whisper if you like, but internal repetition is fine. Keep it light. Don't chant forcefully or analyze. Let the words sprit, paired with a calm, expectant feeling. Stay consistent. Mark your calendar, set reminders, and commit to 30 uninterrupted naps. Stay observant during the day. Notice nudges, new interests, or opportunities, and take action when they appear. Optional. If money triggers resistance, start with words like abundance or prosperity until wealth feels more comfortable. The key is emotional resonance, not perfection.
And if you're skeptical, that's normal. The conscious mind loves to doubt. But skepticism doesn't cancel your subconscious effects. The nightly state bypasses much of that conscious resistance. I'd also suggest documenting subtle shifts. Keep a short journal, new thoughts, conversations, or chances that show up. Seeing the pattern build reinforces belief and keeps you consistent. Remember, you don't have to believe in the beginning, you only have to practice. The rewiring happens under the surface.
That's another lesson here about agency. Many people feel powerless about money, trapped by circumstances. But when you realize your early programming shaped much of that, you reclaim control. You can rewrite the code. And that's liberating. Instead of feeling like success belongs only to the lucky or privileged, you recognized your brain's operating system is malleable. It's not easy, but it's profoundly doable.
So tonight, rather than scrolling or worrying as you drift off, try something radically simple. Repeat wealth and success. Not as wishful thinking, but as a quiet instruction to your most powerful inner mechanism. Do it for 30 nights and watch how your perception, actions, and results begin to change. It's one of the most low effort, high impact tools we've seen for shifting financial trajectory, and it costs nothing but consistency.
If you only take one thing from this conversation, let it be this. Your subconscious was programmed early, but it's not permanent. The same doorway that installed limiting beliefs can install empowering ones. And that doorway opens every night. Stop letting outdated scripts decide your financial future. Use the minutes before sleep as the upgrade window that they truly are.
If you found this conversation valuable and for more deep dives into conscious wealth creation and subconscious rewiring, we'd love your support. Like this video, subscribe, share it with someone who's ready for a shift, and hit the notification bell so you don't miss future talk. And until next time, think differently, dream boldly, and create consciously.